The first item on my agenda for the City Council is an open discussion regarding the Unified Development Ordinance. And just to start out the discussion, I want to put some facts on the table for the City Council to consider. As you may know, on 12/21/2021, the City Council adopted the Unified Development Ordinance, and it passed 3-2. There was no formal written resolution adopting this complex legislation. Basically, the resolution that the City Council considered was to approve the UDO in its form, which is was 300 pages. The resolution that was passed did not repeal applicable zoning codes, and of course, really the UDO is a zoning document. It also did not set in the resolution an effective date for it to become law, which is critical for both our planning department, for residents, and of course anyone who's considering doing anything in a development area. And then subsequent to the passing of that, or the action that the City Council did on 12/21, there's at least one zoning provision that has now been nullified by a court decision. The final problem we saw with the process of passing the Unified Development Ordinance was essentially it's never been filed with the New York State Department of State, which is essentially the way a local law becomes law for the City Council. So the City Council would have passed it, and then it would have been submitted to the New York State Department. Given these issues, we've had several conversations both with staff and in the mayor's office, because of course we're charged with planning and the planning functions in the city. And we've come to the conclusion that we believe that the best way to put the UDO, the Unified Development Ordinance, on firmer footing is for us to actually start at the beginning and set a public hearing to readopt the UDO. And when I say start at the beginning, we are not reopening the document itself. We are looking at basically setting a public hearing tonight, taking the UDO, fashioning the appropriate resolution that also does, in fact, repeal the specific zoning codes that would be repealed. And then, because there was also some concern both in this City Council and among the public to consider amendments, then we would consider those amendments. So the idea is to put this back on a firmer footing in terms of a resolution, enacting the public laws after a public hearing, and then considering the zoning amendments. So that's what I wanted to discuss with the City Council. I don't know, Tony, if I've missed anything or you want to make any comments?
Are you looking to set that to be next council meeting, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, it would be.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. Only very simply, it's our discussions have reflected the fact that the procedure, as you correctly point out, Mayor, the procedure that you're considering restarting, and not the complete reanalyzing of each and every provision of the zoning ordinance. So there are some procedural things that can be discussed at this point. Sure.
So we would set a public hearing. I think we need 10 minutes for that.
March 15, 10 minutes. I'll work on that for you, sir.
Correct, Commissioner Moran. I don't know if there are any comments regarding this from any of the other City Council members.
No, again, this was something that we uncovered as a team. There's some folks sitting in the audience that were made some promises by the prior City Council that weren't delivered on. And this is just another example of where things were not done correctly. And so when the criticism that our mayor has had, because he's seeking to get proper counsel, these are some of the issues that are resulting from improper counsel. And He's fully within his rights to seek someone to help this city council right the wrongs, get things moving in the right direction, and supporting our community in a fashion that needs to be. We're growing fast. We can't afford mistakes. We need to get things done in a timely fashion. So I commend you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner. So we're setting the public hearing for the next city council meeting, which is March 15th. And because it'll be asked, the actual document that will be considered will be on the website tomorrow. Any other discussion on the Unified Development Ordinance? Hearing none, I'm just want to remind people that tomorrow is our first Infrastructure Committee meeting.